Have you ever wondered when to drink water? Water isn't just a thirst quencher. The timing of when you sip it can significantly boost your health. Starting your day with a glass of water is like giving your body a wake-up call. This morning ritual activates your internal organs, kickstarting your metabolism after hours of rest. Then think about the simple act of drinking water before meals. It's not just a good habit. It helps with digestion by preparing your stomach for the food you're about to enjoy, which can prevent overeating too. Now let's talk about winding down. Drinking water before bed might sound like a risky move if you're worried about midnight bathroom trips, but it can actually be beneficial. It helps to keep your heart healthy and reduces the risk of heart attacks during the night. So, make it a point to drink water at these key times: morning, before meals, and before hitting the hay. It's amazing what a little timing can do for your overall health. Did you know that crows are true geniuses? These remarkable birds exhibit intelligence on par with primates and even young children. They can recognize human faces, hold grudges, and remember those who treat them kindly or badly. But their skills go far beyond memory. Crows are one of the few non-human species to craft tools. They bend wires into hooks, shape leaves into scoops, and use sticks to fish out insects from tight crevices. Some species, like the New Caledonian crow, solve multi-step puzzles requiring foresight and planning. They cache food across hundreds of hiding spots and recall them months later. In group settings, they use complex vocal signals to communicate warnings, plan ambushes, or share news. These feathered masterminds have even been trained to distinguish shapes, colors, and sequences, demonstrating problem-solving ability that rivals a 5-year-old child. Did you know you might have been answering the phone with ahoy? In the early days of the telephone, when Alexander Graham Bell introduced his invention, he suggested using ahoy as a greeting when answering calls. Inspired by nautical language, Bell thought it would be a perfect fit for the new way of communicating. Imagine if his idea caught on. We would all be saying ahoy every time we picked up the phone. However, Thomas Edison suggested the word hello, and it became the standard, leaving ahoy as a quirky piece of history. Caffeine. Energy or illusion? Caffeine is the most popular psychoactive substance in the world, but it doesn't actually give you energy. Instead, it blocks adenosine receptors in the brain, preventing them from signaling tiredness. It's a kind of trick that makes your brain feel alert and awake. What's even more fascinating is that caffeine's molecular structure is very similar to that of adenosine, allowing it to take the place of this neurotransmitter. This clever process helps us wake up in the morning and stay alert throughout the day. Now imagine, it's all just a game of chemistry. The first item ever sold on eBay was a broken laser pointer. In 1995, eBay founder Pierre Omidyar listed a broken laser pointer as a test for his new platform. Surprisingly, it was bought by a collector of broken laser pointers for $14.83. This unexpected success demonstrated the potential of online commerce, showing that even seemingly useless items could find a buyer. Who would have thought that a broken object would change the world of online sales forever? Did you know the world's most venomous animal can kill in minutes? The most venomous animal in the world is the box jellyfish, found in the tropical waters of Australia, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific Ocean. The tentacles of this jellyfish can reach 3 meters in length and are covered with millions of microscopic stingers that inject a powerful toxin. One sting causes excruciating pain, and its venom can cause cardiac arrest and death within minutes. This oceanic menace is a wonder of nature that you don't want to mess with. Did you know that there's a stone forest on Earth? In China's Yunnan province, you'll find one of the most unique natural phenomena, the Shailan, or stone forest. This astonishing forest isn't made of trees, but of towering limestone pillars that rise towards the sky like jagged spikes of rock. The age of this extraordinary forest is over 270 million years. Erosion from rain and wind has sculpted the rocks into such bizarre shapes. For centuries, people have attributed mystical powers to this place, and local legends claim that spirits of nature inhabit Shailan. It's so majestic and mysterious, it almost looks like a set from a fantasy movie. Did you know that the world's smallest mammal weighs less than a penny? The bumblebee bat holds the record as the world's smallest mammal, weighing less than a penny. Native to Southeast Asia, these tiny bats live in caves and hunt for insects with remarkable efficiency. Despite their small size, just about 2 grams, they are perfectly adapted to their environment. The bumblebee bat demonstrates that nature's diversity includes even the tiniest of creatures, each playing an important role in the grand tapestry of life. Who would have thought that quokkas always look happy? The quokka's viral fame stems from its irresistibly cheerful expression, a wide-eyed, open-mouthed smile that melts hearts online. But behind the grin is biology, not joy. Their facial structure naturally forms a pleasant look, regardless of mood. That said, quokkas truly are more sociable than most wild animals. Native to predator-free islands in Australia, they've evolved without the instinct to fear humans. Over generations, their willingness to approach people brought food rewards, favoring the survival of friendly individuals. As a result, modern quokkas are bold, curious, and often interact directly with tourists. Their behavior is a case study in how evolutionary pressures, not emotions, can shape the friendliness of a species. So next time you see a quokka selfie, remember, it's not smiling for the camera. It's thriving thanks to a perfect mix of charm and adaptation. Is it really true that Yosemite attracts climbers worldwide? Absolutely. Yosemite National Park is famous for its stunning granite cliffs and breathtaking views, with iconic landmarks like El Capitan and Half Dome leading the way. El Capitan, standing at a whopping 3,000 feet, is a mecca for rock climbers who come to test their skills against its sheer vertical face. Climbers from all over the globe flock to this natural wonder, eager to conquer its challenging routes while soaking in the park's awe-inspiring beauty. Similarly, Half Dome, with its distinctive shape, offers adventurous hikers a thrilling challenge as they trek up its steep trails. The park not only showcases incredible rock formations, but also plays host to many climbing competitions and events, further enhancing its reputation in the climbing community. With hundreds of climbing routes suited for various skill levels, Yosemite truly offers something for everyone, making it a bucket list destination for adventure enthusiasts. So what are you waiting for? Grab your climbing gear and experience the magic of Yosemite. Imagine for a moment that goats have panoramic vision. Goats are known for their fearless climbing on steep cliffs, but their eyes play a huge role in that daring agility. Unlike humans' round pupils, goats have rectangular, horizontal pupils that provide a panoramic 360-degree field of vision. This allows them to detect movement from virtually all directions without turning their heads. Even more amazing, their eyes rotate independently to keep the horizontal plane steady as they move over uneven terrain. It's like having a built-in stabilizer and wide-angle lens. This adaptation gives goats confidence to traverse high-altitude ledges where predators lurk and where a single misstep can be fatal. It's not just strong legs that keep goats safe, it's their extraordinary eyes evolved for balance, survival, and a constant view of everything around them. Did you know the largest living organism on Earth is a mushroom? The honey fungus, also known as the giant mushroom, covers an astonishing 2,385 acres in the Malheur National Forest in Oregon, USA. This fungus forms a massive underground network of mycelium, which is the vegetative part of the fungus that spreads beneath the soil. The mycelium isn't visible to the naked eye, but it is responsible for the mushrooms that appear above the ground. Can you imagine one organism covering such a vast area? It's a true wonder of nature that few people know about. Ancient Roman firefighters and their unusual tactics. In ancient Rome, firefighting wasn't just about saving lives. It was a business. When a fire broke out, firefighters would rush to the scene, but they would only put out the flames if the property owner agreed on a price. This strange combination of urgency and negotiation shows just how different firefighting was back then compared to today. Back in those days, saving a building from flames required both money and quick decisions. The royal game of is the oldest board game, over 4,000 years old. This ancient game was discovered during excavations in Mesopotamia and dates back to around 2600 BCE. Played by two players on a 20-square board, The game involved strategic moves with pieces that maneuvered around obstacles. It had a major influence on the development of future board games, demonstrating the strategic thinking of ancient civilizations. Just imagine how deep-rooted our love for games really is. Why zebra foals start running right after birth. Zebra foals can run just 1 hour after being born. This amazing ability helps them survive in the wild, where predators are always on the lookout. Baby zebras are born with strong legs that allow them to stand up quickly and keep up with their herd. Thanks to this skill, they can avoid danger from the very start of their lives. Imagine being able to run within an hour of being born. These striped cuties are ready to show off their impressive speed and agility right from the start. Can you imagine that the world's oldest color is pink? In 2018, scientists discovered the oldest known color on Earth, and it's pink. Extracted from billion-year-old rocks in the Sahara Desert, this pink pigment was created by ancient ocean-dwelling bacteria. These bacteria lived long before animals existed, making pink the oldest biological color. The discovery adds a colorful twist to our understanding of life's early history. What do you think is the largest economy in the world? Of course, it's the USA. With a GDP exceeding 23 trillion, the US continues to lead the global economy, consistently maintaining its position as a world leader. The country's economy is based on high technology, innovation, financial services, and a strong military industry. The US remains a global hub for investments, startups, and corporate solutions. Its economic power allows it to influence international markets and set trends in global business, making it not only an economic superpower, but also a vital center for new technology and innovation development. Did you know there is no concept of sound in space? The vacuum of space does not transmit sound waves because there are no molecules to carry them. This means that explosions or loud events in space, like in sci-fi movies, would actually be silent. If you found yourself in open space, you'd see flashes and movements, but you'd hear absolutely nothing. So space isn't just dark, it's also eerily quiet. How many toes do you think cats have on their front paws? Cats' paws are truly unique, not just because they're cute. Most cats have 5 toes on their front paws and only 4 on their back paws. This makes their movement system particularly efficient for hunting and climbing. However, some polydactyl cats have extra toes, making them even more unique. It seems nature decided that a cat's paw shouldn't just be a survival tool, but also a perfect machine for capturing human hearts. Could it be that a shark's skin is perfect for hydrodynamics? Unlike most marine animals, sharks aren't just sleek, they're engineered by nature for speed. Their skin is covered in dermal denticles, tiny tooth-like scales that point backward and create microscopic grooves. These grooves form directional channels that streamline water flow, dramatically reducing drag and turbulence as the shark moves. This allows them to glide silently, reach speeds up to 60 km/h, and conserve energy on long hunts. But the advantages don't stop at speed. The textured surface also repels parasites and microorganisms, preventing biofouling, something engineers are mimicking in cutting-edge ship coatings and Olympic-grade swimsuits. Shark skin isn't just a protective layer, it's a built-in propulsion system and antibacterial suit rolled into one, honed by 400 million years of aquatic evolution. The United States has the highest incarceration rate in the world. In 2012, there were 730 imprisoned individuals for every 100,000 Americans, placing the country at the top in terms of prisoners per capita. The justice system in the U.S. is uniquely strict, and although there have been several reforms in recent decades, issues such as prison overcrowding, poor rehabilitation quality, and significant racial disparities in the inmate population continue to persist. The high crime rate and large number of prisoners have repeatedly been topics of public debate and academic research. This prompts the government to seek ways to improve the justice system and find solutions to reduce the prison population in the future. The Babylonian lottery, fate decides dinner. Imagine your dinner invitation being decided by a lottery. In ancient Babylon, there was a lottery where fate literally determined who would attend the feast. This method of selecting banquet guests added an element of randomness and unpredictability to social life. Fate played a decisive role in who would be at the dinner table. This ancient custom shows just how much in life can depend on chance, especially when it comes to something as delightful as dinner. Is it possible? Sea otters hold hands while sleeping. Sea otters are one of the most adorable animals in the ocean, and they have a heartwarming habit of holding hands while they sleep. This behavior isn't just cute, it serves a practical purpose, preventing them from drifting apart in ocean currents. By holding on to each other, they form small floating rafts, demonstrating their strong social bonds and clever ways to stay together in the ever-moving sea. What's hidden in LEGO's secret vault? LEGO has a secret underground vault that stores every single set of building blocks the company has ever made. It's a true time capsule filled with nostalgia and creativity, waiting to delight fans of all ages. Imagine the wonders hidden beneath this vault, where both classic and modern sets are stored together. This vault is a dream come true for LEGO enthusiasts, preserving the company's entire legacy. Where do you think the largest Chinatowns in the world are located? They are, of course, San Francisco and Manhattan in New York City. These areas have become centers of life and culture for Chinese immigrants, featuring numerous restaurants, shops, and cultural events. New York is also known for Brighton Beach, a compact neighborhood primarily inhabited by immigrants from the former USSR. This is one of the most vibrant and culturally rich communities in the U.S., home to around 80,000 people, creating a unique atmosphere for new generations and tourists. Snails can sleep for up to 3 years. In the slow-moving world of creatures, snails are the undeniable champions. They have the astonishing ability to hibernate for up to 3 years. For some, it's not laziness, but rather an enviable skill of endurance and patience. You can only imagine the slow-paced dreams they must have over the years. And here we thought our weekend naps were impressive. Don't ever challenge a snail to a sleep-off. You're bound to lose in the most hilarious way possible. Slavery in the United States existed from 1619, but was officially abolished only in 1862 through President Abraham Lincoln's decision. He became a symbol of the struggle for freedom and equality. By that time, slavery was deeply entrenched in American society, and its abolition marked a significant milestone in U.S. history. This act triggered a series of changes in the country's social structure, leading to the Civil War and serious economic and cultural transformations that continue to impact society today. Did you know that Silicon Valley in California is the world's high-tech hub? It is home to the headquarters of major companies like Google, Apple, Facebook, YouTube, and others that are shaping the future of information technology. Each year, Silicon Valley attracts thousands of startups and talented engineers, creating unparalleled conditions for innovation. Today, it has become a symbol of progress and the power of innovation, actively shaping future trends in technology, business, and media production. Did you know Beyoncé's name has a special meaning? Beyoncé Giselle Knowles-Carter, one of the most celebrated music icons of our time, carries a beautiful piece of family history within her name. Her first name, Beyoncé, is actually a tribute to her mother, Tina Knowles' maiden name. This connection is a heartfelt nod to her family's roots and the legacy they've built together. The uniqueness of her name mirrors her own distinct style and artistry in the music industry, making it easy to recognize and remember. Growing up, Beyoncé was influenced by a mixture of music, dance, and performance, which led her to rise to fame as a member of Destiny's Child before launching her powerhouse solo career. Her name isn't just a name, it's part of her personal story and a reminder of where she came from. With countless awards under her belt and a passion for empowering others, Beyoncé's journey from her mother's maiden name to a global superstar showcases the profound influence of heritage and personal identity in shaping incredible talents. Here's a wild fact about the Le Mans race. The 24 Hours of Le Mans is an incredible endurance race that stands out as the most prestigious of its kind in the world. Taking place annually in France, this grueling automotive contest challenges teams to race for a full 24 hours straight. Imagine racing all day and night with skills and precision at the forefront of every driver's mind. The event first kicked off in 1923 and has since become a legendary spectacle, drawing major manufacturers and racing teams from all over the globe. The course itself is a mix of public roads and a closed track, demanding everything from speed to strategy from drivers. With competitors often switching out mid-race, teamwork is essential. Their vehicles aren't just about raw power, they require brilliant engineering to last through the grueling hours while battling against the elements and each other. From heart-stopping turns to strategic pit stops, every moment is filled with excitement and risks. This race is truly a test of endurance for both the machines and the skill of the human drivers behind the wheel. Believe it or not, chameleons launch their tongues at bullet speed. Chameleons are nature's silent snipers. When prey is within range, they don't leap or pounce. They shoot. Hidden within their heads is a biological spring system, an elastic collagen sheath tightly coiled around a bone. When the moment comes, stored energy launches the tongue like a projectile, reaching its full length, up to twice the chameleon's body size, in just 0.07 seconds. The tip is covered in mucus that grips prey like a suction cup. Once attached, powerful retractor muscles reel it back into the mouth with surgical precision. Some small chameleons accelerate their tongues at over 50 green, faster than fighter jets. Their stealth, aim, and ballistic power let them snatch fast-flying insects while remaining perfectly still, invisible among the leaves. It's not just hunting, it's evolutionary weaponry. Could it really be that beavers build dams to success? Beavers are more than rodents. They're hydrological engineers. Using nothing but teeth, paws, mud, and instinct, they construct dams that alter entire ecosystems. These structures slow rivers, creating stillwater ponds where beavers build their lodges with underwater entrances, safe from predators. Their work forms wetlands that host frogs, fish, birds, and plants, boosting biodiversity and water purity. By trapping sediment and moderating flow, beaver dams reduce erosion and prevent downstream floods. Even during droughts, the ponds they create act as water reservoirs. Scientists now replicate beaver dam models in ecological restoration to stabilize water systems and reverse desertification. In this way, beavers are not only survivors, they're natural architects who leave behind flourishing communities of life, all built from sticks and mud. Why are plastic flamingos outnumbering real ones? You might be surprised to learn that in the United States, there are estimated to be more plastic flamingos than actual flamingos. This quirky fact dates back to the 1950s, when Don Featherstone created the iconic pink lawn ornament. These cheerful, lifelike plastic replicas quickly became a popular decoration for front yards, symbolizing a fun, carefree attitude in American suburban life. While the actual flamingo population is concentrated mainly in Florida and parts of the Caribbean, the colorful plastic counterparts have spread like wildfire across the nation, spawning yard parties, art installations, and even the occasional prank or two. Today, they can be spotted on lawns and gardens and even on porches, often in entertaining poses. While we might not see many real flamingos waddling about, these fun plastic birds bring a pop of color and a smile to everyday life, reminding us of sunny beaches and warm weather no matter where we are. Who would have thought that gangs in Los Angeles still exist? Gangs in Los Angeles, New York, and other major U.S. cities are still divided by territory and constantly battling for power and influence. These criminal groups continue to exist and wage war even today, despite efforts by authorities to dismantle them. This situation has persisted for decades, and at times police are unable to control the situation in certain areas where crime still thrives. Did you know that the name John is over 4,000 years old? The name John is one of the oldest in human history, documented more than 4,000 years ago. This name has endured through countless ages and cultures, remaining relevant even today. Just imagine, millions of people throughout history have carried this simple yet powerful name, which continues to symbolize tradition and endurance. Surprisingly, some snakes have vestigial legs. Yes, certain snake species like boas and pythons still possess tiny vestigial legs called spurs near their tails. These remnants are the evolutionary leftovers from when snakes' ancestors had fully formed limbs millions of years ago. Over time, As snakes adapted to a slithering lifestyle, they lost the need for legs. But these little spurs remain as a fascinating window into the ancient past of these reptiles. It's like carrying a little piece of history on their bodies, reminding us that evolution is full of surprises. It's hard to believe, but sea stars can evert their stomachs. Sea stars have a bizarre and fascinating way of eating. They can push their stomachs outside their bodies to digest their prey. When a sea star encounters something too big to fit in its mouth, like a clam or mussel, it wraps its stomach around the prey, releasing digestive enzymes to break down the food. Once the meal is digested, the sea star pulls its stomach back inside, along with the nutrients. This unique method makes them some of the most unconventional predators in the ocean. Talk about dining al fresco. Did you know NASA once wasted millions on a pen? During the Cold War, a fascinating race was on between the United States and the Soviet Union, not just for space exploration, but also for innovation. NASA invested a whopping amount of money to develop a pen that could write in the challenging conditions of zero gravity, where regular pens would fail due to the lack of gravity pulling the ink down. They produced a sophisticated ballpoint pen that could write underwater, in extreme temperatures, and even upside down. On the other hand, Russian cosmonauts took a more straightforward route, using pencils instead. Pencils, though seemingly simple, were practical and effective, but they did have some drawbacks. The wood shavings could create debris, and if a pencil broke, you could also end up with flying bits. However, this difference in approach highlights not just a battle of technology, but also a clash of philosophies. While NASA focused on advanced engineering solutions, the Soviets relied on an age-old tool. It's a quirky little anecdote about how innovation can take multiple forms. Did you know that the kiwi is a nocturnal sleuth with its nose at the tip of its bill? Unlike any other bird on Earth, the kiwi's nostrils are located at the very tip of its long, probing beak, an extraordinary adaptation that allows it to literally smell its prey before touching it. Living in the forest floor's leaf litter, the kiwi uses this keen sense of smell, along with sensitive whisker-like feathers, vibrissae, to detect insects and worms buried 10 centimeters below ground. With poor eyesight, it relies on these tools to navigate and forage by night. The kiwi also lays one of the largest eggs in proportion to body size, up to 20% of its body weight, requiring intense investment from the female and careful care from both parents. Endemic to New Zealand and sacred in Maori culture, the kiwi is a conservation icon, a bird that defies flight, daylight, and bird-like norms, all while thriving in its underground world. Family ties that last. How long do kids stay home? How long do kids stay home? In Italy, it's surprisingly common for young adults to live with their parents until they are around 28 or 30. This trend reflects not only the strong family bonds typical of Italian culture, but also a belief in the home as a supportive environment. Many families view living together as a way to stay connected and lend emotional support. Rather than rushing into independence, young Italians often focus on education or starting their careers while sharing the same roof with their parents. This setup allows for a cozy atmosphere where family dinners are cherished, traditions are upheld, and financial burdens can be shared. Additionally, housing costs in urban areas can be quite high, making it practical to stay at home for a bit longer. Unlike other countries where moving out is seen as a rite of passage, in Italy it's not unusual for these extended stays to be celebrated. So next time you meet an Italian in their late 20s, still living with mom and dad, remember it's all part of a rich family tradition. Did you know the hummingbird is the smallest bird in the world? The hummingbird, found in Cuba and nearby islands, is the world's smallest bird. The smallest species of hummingbird measures only 5 centimeters in length and weighs around 2 grams. But don't let its size fool you. This tiny bird is a real powerhouse. It can beat its wings up to 200 times per second, making it one of the fastest creatures in nature. This incredible little wonder can hover in place, feeding on flower nectar. It turns out that hippos secrete bloody sweat to protect themselves from the sun. Hippo's skin produces a special reddish liquid that acts as sunscreen and has antiseptic properties. This bloody sweat not only protects hippos from harmful UV rays, but also helps heal wounds. In the wild, this feature makes hippos true survival experts, who have found an amazing way to shield themselves from the sun. Photography, the art of stopping time. The ability to capture a moment on paper may seem like magic, but today it's a part of our everyday lives. The history of photography is filled with fascinating facts. The first attempts to freeze an image were made in the early 1800s by Thomas Wedgwood, but without success. Modern photography, as we know it today, became possible thanks to the experiments of pioneers like Joseph Nicephore Niepce and William Henry Fox Talbot. Their innovations forever changed the way we preserve and share memories. Is it true that most dust is dead skin? Imagine that every day you shed millions of skin cells that turn into dust in your home. Dead skin cells make up a significant portion of household dust, along with clothing fibers, hair, and pollen. On average, a person loses about 200 million skin cells every hour. Of course, this doesn't sound very pleasant, but nature has designed your skin to constantly renew itself. In fact, one of the oils on your skin, squalene, helps reduce the harmful effects of ozone in the air, making your skin's microbiome a true protector of your environment. So the next time you're wiping down dust, remember, you're essentially cleaning away your yesterday cells that have already served their purpose. Amazing how the body continually renews itself and maintains balance with the environment. Why do fennec foxes have such enormous ears? The fennec fox, Vulpes zerta, smallest of all canids, roams the scorching Sahara with its oversized radar-like ears, sometimes half the length of its body. These iconic ears aren't just for show. Packed with blood vessels, they radiate heat away from the body, functioning as natural air conditioners in temperatures exceeding 50 degrees. But they also serve as hypersensitive detectors. Fennecs can hear insects crawling beneath the sand and pinpoint prey like rodents or beetles from meters away. Nocturnal by nature, they rely on their exceptional hearing and padded feet to silently stalk through dunes. Their large ears are a dual-purpose miracle. Audio surveillance devices by night and cooling panels by day evolved to perfection for desert survival. In a landscape of extremes, the fennec's ears are both its shield and its sword. Why has the U.S. become a leader on the global stage? After the Civil War ended in 1865, the country entered an era of industrial growth and expanding influence. By around 1900, following the annexation of Mexican territory and other successful wars, the U.S. began to dominate the Western Hemisphere. Roosevelt's corollary, which asserted the U.S. right to intervene in Latin American affairs, solidified this status. After World War II, the U.S. emerged as a world leader, allowing it to leverage military power and economic resources to influence international events. Since the 20th century, the U.S. has employed both force and diplomacy to establish its global leadership. Can you imagine there's a bridge in Sweden that goes underwater? In Sweden, there is a unique bridge called the Öresund Bridge, which connects the country to Denmark. This bridge suddenly ends and dives underwater, turning into a tunnel. This engineering marvel was designed to avoid interfering with sea traffic. Driving from Sweden to Denmark gives the feeling that you're diving into the sea right in your car, adding an exciting element to the journey. Imagine giant mantas dancing underwater like colossal ballerinas, gliding silently through open oceans with wingspans up to 7 meters. Manta rays move with a grace that belies their size. Using large pectoral fins shaped like wings, they perform slow, elegant somersaults while filtering plankton through cephalic fins that unfurl like soft horns. Highly intelligent, mantas have large brains, exhibit curiosity, and frequently approach divers, sometimes even allowing gentle contact. They often gather at cleaning stations, hovering still while smaller fish nibble parasites from their skin. Manta migrations span thousands of kilometers, making them some of the ocean's most well-traveled giants. They navigate with apparent ease, their ballet-like spins and glides creating an underwater spectacle few have witnessed. Conservationists now fight to protect mantas from fishing and pollution, preserving not just a species, but an experience of oceanic elegance. Can you imagine? Your blood vessels could wrap around the Earth twice. Have you ever wondered how complex the human circulatory system is? If you laid out all the blood vessels in your body end to end, they would stretch about 96,000 kilometers, enough to wrap around the Earth twice. This intricate network of arteries, veins, and capillaries is vital for transporting blood, oxygen, and nutrients to every part of your body. This amazing feat of nature highlights just how complex and beautifully designed our bodies are. Now that you know this fact, you can marvel even more at how your body works. How did lasers help discover a ghost city under the jungle in America? In Honduras, scientists used laser scanning technology to survey dense jungles and stumbled upon the ruins of an ancient city hidden beneath centuries-old trees. This city, known as the White City or City of the Gods, had been forgotten and inaccessible to people for hundreds of years. Local legends say the city is cursed, and researchers found numerous artifacts that remain mysterious to this day. Have you ever wondered if elephants can get hangovers? In Africa, elephants love the fruits of the marula tree, which when overripe, ferment and become alcoholic. Elephants can eat up to 20 kilograms of these fruits at once, sometimes causing a mild alcoholic effect. It has been observed that after such feasts, elephants become more sluggish and even prefer to rest. Some scientists claim that this phenomenon is similar to a hangover in humans, and perhaps that's why elephants occasionally avoid marula. Did you know that Mount Everest grows every year? Each year, the world's highest peak, Everest, grows a little taller, by a full 4 millimeters. This happens due to the tectonic plates beneath the Himalayas, which slowly but steadily push the mountain upwards. These tectonic processes have been going on for millions of years, and every time climbers reach the summit, they stand just a bit higher than their predecessors. Imagine, every step on Everest's summit is a step into new heights. It's not just a physical achievement, but a testament to the incredible natural forces that constantly reshape our planet. Everest is a symbol of nature's grandeur and its continuous movement forward. Why can dung beetles navigate by the stars? These tiny creatures have a unique ability to use the stars as a compass. At night, they look at the Milky Way to always move in the right direction and stay on course. This is especially important when they transport their precious dung balls over long distances, as these provide them with both food and protection. Surprisingly, scientists have found that their eyes, while not highly developed, are sensitive to starlight. This celestial navigation helps them stay oriented even in the complete darkness of deserts and savannas. Did you know the world's oldest message in a bottle was found after more than a century? In 2018, a bottle washed ashore on a beach in Western Australia containing a message tossed into the Indian Ocean by a German ship in 1886. This message had traveled through the seas for an incredible 132 years before being discovered. Talk about slow and steady mail service. It's a fascinating glimpse into the past, connecting us with a different era. Ever heard of Ayubawan's warm charm? In Sri Lanka, when people greet each other with Ayubawan, they're not just saying hello, they're wishing each other a long and prosperous life. This heartfelt gesture involves placing hands together in front of the chest, accompanied by a slight bow. It's a simple yet deeply meaningful way to express respect and goodwill, and it perfectly reflects the warmth and hospitality that Sri Lankans are known for. Imagine walking through a bustling market or a tranquil village and encountering friendly faces greeting you with this inviting phrase. It's a cultural tradition steeped in kindness, where every Ayubawan fosters a sense of community and connection. In a world that sometimes feels a little too rushed, this gentle greeting reminds us to pause and appreciate the people around us. So the next time you meet someone from Sri Lanka, or even a fellow traveler, try saying Ayubawan. It just might brighten their day and strengthen that bond between you. Have you ever stopped to think that hummingbirds are built like tiny helicopters? Hummingbirds are the only birds that can hover in place, fly backward, and pivot in midair, and they achieve this with wing beats reaching up to 80 times per second. Their wings don't flap up and down like most birds. They rotate in a figure-8 motion, generating lift on both the upstroke and downstroke. This maneuverability is powered by massive pectoral muscles, which make up 30% of their body weight. Their metabolism is so fast that their heart rate can hit 1,260 beats per minute, and they must feed constantly to avoid starvation. They consume nectar every few minutes and enter torpor at night to conserve energy. Despite their size, these aerial acrobats are among the most complex flyers in the natural world, a marvel of evolution shrunk down to a few grams of feathered genius. Here's what lies behind the phenomenon of British tea. Tea is not just a beverage, it is a whole culture. In the UK, it is an integral part of daily life, playing a significant role in social interactions and traditions. The history of British tea has its roots in colonial times when Britain actively expanded its empire in India. Tea became an important export, and its consumption became a symbol of English hospitality. Guess what the real reason is behind the naked mole rat's superpowers? Naked mole rats are more than quirky, wrinkled rodents. They're evolutionary superheroes. Living underground in eusocial colonies, they defy mammalian norms with insect-like organization. A queen does all the breeding while others work or defend the nest. But their real superpowers lie in biology. They're immune to many forms of pain, resistant to cancer, and can survive up to 18 minutes without oxygen. Their bodies produce unique proteins that suppress tumors and prevent cells from crowding, a natural barrier against cancer. They live 10 times longer than other rodents their size, showing little age-related decline. Scientists are studying them to understand aging, cancer resistance, and low oxygen survival, unlocking secrets that could transform human health. In the darkness of their tunnels, these odd creatures quietly guard the keys to longevity. What if I told you that English is a blend of languages? Modern English is a true mosaic, woven with elements from German, French, Scandinavian languages, and many others. Although it is currently the official language of the United Kingdom, this was not always the case. English spread worldwide thanks to the British Empire, and its success is largely due to the vast array of words it has absorbed from different languages, making it easy to communicate and adaptable to diverse cultures. This is why English has become a global language. Infinite combinations, a deck of cards in the vastness of the universe. The number of ways to shuffle a standard 52-card deck is mind-blowing. This figure is known as the factorial of 52 and equals a number with 60 zeros. This means that every time you shuffle a deck, you are likely creating a combination that has never existed before and will never be repeated. So next time you play cards, remember, you have a whole universe of possibilities in your hands. You might be surprised to learn about giraffe naps. Giraffes are fascinating creatures, especially when it comes to their sleeping habits. While most of us cherish our long nights of sleep, giraffes have a very different approach. In the wild, they only sleep for about 20 minutes at a time, and sometimes they don't even hit the hay more than a few hours a day. What makes this even more interesting is that they can catch some zoomies while standing up, making them perfectly ready to spring into action if a predator comes by. This unique ability to rest while on their feet is crucial for their survival, as it allows them to stay alert and avoid potential threats. While they can sleep lying down, they only do so in short bursts when they feel safe. This minimal sleep pattern stems from their size. Having long necks and legs makes them vulnerable to dangers in the wild, so short, effective naps help them remain vigilant. So next time you think about a good night's sleep, just remember the giraffe's clever way of managing rest in the wild. Here's a wild connection you didn't see coming. A giraffe's tongue is sunproof. A giraffe's tongue is not only impressively long, up to 50 centimeters, it's also a multifunctional tool adapted for life under the sun. Its purplish-black color isn't just unusual, it protects against sunburn. While giraffes spend up to 12 hours a day reaching for thorny acacia leaves, their tongues remain exposed, so the dark pigment acts like built-in sunscreen. The tongue is also prehensile and tough, allowing giraffes to grasp branches, strip leaves, and avoid thorns with ease. Its surface is covered in bristle-like papillae, and its saliva is antibacterial, helping heal cuts and prevent infection. The tongue even plays a role in social grooming and caring for young. Flexible, sun-safe, and strong, it's not just a tongue, it's a savanna survival toolkit in action. It's hard to believe, but it's true. Brits talk about the weather more than anything else. According to a study, 94% of Brits have talked about the weather at least once in the last 6 hours, and 38% reported discussing it in the last hour. This is due to the frequently changing weather in the UK, where rainy conditions are the norm. On average, there are 130 rainy days a year in Britain, prompting locals to always discuss what's happening outside. So don't be surprised if, upon meeting a Brit, the first question is about the weather. Ever thought about why Arctic foxes change their coats twice a year? The Arctic fox isn't just cute, it's one of nature's most perfectly dressed survivalists. In summer, its fur is thin and brownish gray, blending with rocks and tundra. Come winter, it transforms into a dense, snowy white coat that traps heat and reflects icy light. This fur is so well insulated that Arctic foxes don't start shivering until temperatures drop below 50 degrees Celsius. Even their paws are covered in fur, acting like snow boots that help them grip icy surfaces while conserving heat. The seasonal change doesn't just offer camouflage, it allows the fox to remain active and invisible across vastly different landscapes. While other animals migrate or hibernate, the Arctic fox adapts in place, proving that evolution sometimes sews its most elegant solutions into a single changing coat. Imagine for a moment that Brits drink 1 billion cups of tea each year. In the UK, tea is not just a beverage, it's a part of the culture. Approximately 1 billion cups of tea are consumed annually here, far exceeding Russia's 204 million. Notably, 98% of tea in the UK is drunk with milk, which is a hallmark of British tradition. The UK ranks among the top 3 countries in tea consumption, and adding sugar to tea is associated with the working class. Less sugar indicates a higher social status. Believe it or not, squirrels remember hundreds of hidden nuts. While it might seem like random digging, squirrels possess astonishing spatial memory that allows them to relocate up to 300 food caches months after burial. They use environmental cues, like the shape of a tree, the pattern of rocks, or the slope of the land, to mentally map where each nut is buried. Their memory is not scent-based, rather it's cognitive and visual. In scientific experiments, squirrels successfully identified their own buried food even when decoys were planted nearby. What's more, they sometimes engage in deceptive caching, pretending to bury nuts while being watched, only to move the real ones later. Indigenous myths in North America often portray squirrels as cunning and resourceful, and now we know that's biologically accurate. This complex behavior not only ensures their winter survival, but also helps forests grow. Forgotten nuts often sprout into new trees, making squirrels accidental reforestation agents. Did you know that monarch butterflies undertake one of the longest migrations on Earth? These amazing insects travel thousands of kilometers each year, migrating from Mexico to the United States and Canada. What's even more incredible is that this journey takes place over several generations. Monarch butterflies begin their migration, lay eggs, and the next generation continues the journey. This incredible relay across generations transforms their migration into a dance that transcends borders, a true wonder of nature. Believe it or not, the world's smallest island is only a few square meters. Bishop Rock, located in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of England, holds the title of the world's smallest island. Its area is only 0.08 of a square kilometer, just 0.03 of a square mile. Despite its tiny size, the island boasts a lighthouse and is the most westerly point of England. It's officially recognized in the Guinness World Records as the smallest inhabited island, proving that even the smallest piece of land can be home to something remarkable. Who would have thought that clouds can weigh millions of tons? Despite their light and airy appearance, clouds actually have massive weight. 1 cubic meter of cloud contains about half a gram of water. Considering that a typical cumulus cloud can have a volume of over 1 billion cubic meters, its mass can reach 500,000 tons. That's about the same as 400,000 cars. Imagine tons of water floating above you. Did you know about Hawaii's Lost Kingdom attempt? In 1870, a bold group of Americans made a surprising move by trying to establish the Kingdom of Hawaii, seeking independence from the United States. This ambitious plan reflected their desire for self-governance and a different future for the islands. The leaders aimed to capitalize on Hawaii's unique culture and resources, thinking it would thrive separately from U.S. control. However, despite their enthusiasm and plans, the effort faced significant challenges, including local opposition and political complications. Fast forward to 1898, and Hawaii's fate took a different turn when it officially became a U.S. territory. This move dramatically altered the island's future, integrating them into a broader national framework and paving the way for Hawaii's eventual statehood. The fascinating history of Hawaii's independence attempt showcases the complex interplay of power, culture, and identity during a transformative period in American history. How might things have been different if they had succeeded? How would you react if you learned that it was Tim Berners-Lee who invented the World Wide Web? What if you found out that Tim Berners-Lee, a British scientist, was the one who created it? This is not just a change in technology, it's a revolution that radically transformed how we communicate and access information. In 1989, while working at CERN, Berners-Lee proposed a hypertext system that would link information through documents. This became the foundation for the World Wide Web, and since then, the internet has evolved, providing access to millions of websites and changing society. In the UK, there are many other scientists, such as Charles Darwin, Stephen Hawking, and Isaac Newton, whose discoveries and research laid the groundwork for modern sciences and technologies. Why is Venus hotter than Mercury, even though it's farther from the Sun? Despite Mercury being the closest planet to the Sun, Venus holds the title of the hottest planet in our solar system. Its surface temperature reaches 460 degrees Celsius, or about 860 degrees Fahrenheit. This is all due to its dense atmosphere, mostly made up of carbon dioxide, which creates a powerful greenhouse effect, trapping heat. Venus's atmosphere acts like a giant blanket, making it resemble an inferno, even though it's farther from the Sun. Can you imagine the world's longest bridge stretches over 160 kilometers? The Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge in China holds the title of the world's longest bridge, stretching over 164 kilometers. This engineering marvel is part of the Beijing-Shanghai high-speed railway. Spanning lakes, fields, and valleys, the bridge not only astounds with its length, but also offers travelers breathtaking views as they speed across at up to 300 kilometers per hour. Hard to believe, but snakes can sleep with their eyes open. Snakes don't blink because they don't have eyelids. Instead, their eyes are covered by a transparent scale. During sleep, their eyes remain open, giving the impression that they are always watching their surroundings. This feature helps snakes stay alert to threats even while resting. The transparent scale also protects their eyes from dust and dirt, which is especially important for desert and forest dwellers. It's an incredible adaptation that allows them to sense danger even in their sleep. Could this really be true? All gold ever mined fits in 3 pools. Despite its glittering presence in culture and commerce, gold is astonishingly rare. Every ounce ever extracted by humans totals around 187,000 metric tons, enough to fill just 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Most of it sits in vaults, central banks, jewelry, and high-tech electronics. The metal's appeal lies in its unique properties. It doesn't corrode, it's easy to shape, and it's stunning to look at. Ancient civilizations from Egypt to the Inca worshipped it. Modern economies still hoard it. And yet, for all its symbolic weight, gold is surprisingly compact in physical volume. It's a reminder that rarity, not abundance, drives value, and that the treasures we fight over can sometimes fit in a room. Can you believe a woman built this ancient temple? The Temple of Hatshepsut in Egypt is not only a remarkable structure, but also one of the oldest standing buildings in the world. Dedicated to Queen Hatshepsut, who reigned in the 15th century BCE, this funerary temple showcases stunning ancient Egyptian architecture. Set against the breathtaking cliffs of Deir el-Bahari, it features grand colonnades, impressive statues, and beautifully detailed reliefs that tell stories of Hatshepsut's achievements. What makes this temple particularly fascinating is the story of its creator. Hatshepsut is one of the few female pharaohs and broken the norms of her time. She managed to gain power in a male-dominated society and commissioned this temple as a tribute to her reign and the gods. Visitors today are captivated not only by the temple's grandeur, but also by its history. Hatshepsut's legacy continues to inspire many, as she carved a path for women in leadership and shown that greatness knows no gender. When you stand before the temple of Hatshepsut, you're looking at a piece of history that speaks volumes about ambition, resilience, and the ancient world. Did you know that cats use their whiskers as measuring tools? Cats are masters of agility, and their secret lies in their whiskers. These long, sensitive hairs aren't just decorative, they play an essential role. A cat's whiskers are usually about as wide as its body and help them determine whether they can fit through narrow spaces. It's like they have a built-in scanner that constantly analyzes their surroundings and warns them of obstacles. Thanks to these magic hairs, cats can move confidently even in complete darkness, always graceful and swift. So the next time you see a cat squinting to judge a space, remember, their whiskers have already done all the work in the background. Have you ever wondered why twins speak their own language? Around 40% of twins develop a fascinating phenomenon called cryptophagia, a private language made up of invented words, phrases, and even grammar that only they understand. This secret communication often begins in infancy, when twins spend so much time together that they start mirroring each other's early speech. These invented dialects can be rich and complex, often unintelligible to parents and outsiders. While the phenomenon usually fades once children are exposed to formal language in school, it offers a glimpse into how the human brain seeks to build structure and connection, even in isolation. Cryptophagia isn't just cute, it's a powerful demonstration of how language evolves socially and cognitively. In twins, we see an accelerated microcosm of linguistic invention that echoes the way entire human languages may have first formed. Why can rivers in Iceland change their direction? Iceland is a country known for its unusual natural phenomena, and rivers here can unexpectedly change their direction. This happens due to volcanic activity under glaciers. When magma heats the ice, massive amounts of meltwater form underground rivers that change course depending on the pressure and movement of the ice. As a result, a river can flow in the opposite direction within just a few days, leaving residents and tourists puzzled. Why have the Maldives become synonymous with luxury? Located southwest of Sri Lanka, the Maldives have long been a dream destination for those seeking seclusion, beauty, and opulence. This archipelago is renowned for its pristine white beaches, crystal clear waters, and vibrant coral reefs. Each year, the Maldives attract more tourists, solidifying their reputation as one of the most exclusive and popular honeymoon or luxury vacation spots. The allure of these islands lies not only in their natural beauty, but also in the unique atmosphere of tranquility that allows escape from the bustle of the world. Believe it or not, the world's deepest lake holds 20% of all the fresh water on Earth. Lake Baikal, located in Siberia, is not only the deepest lake in the world, but also contains 20% of the world's freshwater reserves. Its depth reaches over 1.5 kilometers, and its volume of water is so vast that it could supply fresh water to the entire planet for several years. This incredible lake is also home to unique species of animals and plants that can't be found anywhere else in the world. Lake Baikal is truly a natural treasure. Did you know the Nile is the longest river in the world? The Nile River, which stretches approximately 6,650 kilometers, passes through 11 countries in northeastern Africa. These countries, Burundi, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, and Uganda, depend on the Nile for their economies, cultures, and ecosystems. The Nile is not only a lifeline for millions of people, but also a witness to ancient history spanning millennia. Did you know that Plitvice Lakes in Croatia are a true natural maze? The Plitvice Lakes consist of 16 individual bodies of water set in a unique natural landscape, interconnected by waterfalls and streams. These lakes are located within the eponymous National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Plitvice Lakes are not only a stunning natural beauty, but also an example of how nature can create a perfect destination for tourism and relaxation. Did you know there's a basketball court on top of the U.S. Supreme Court building? Yes, you heard that right. At the very top of the U.S. Supreme Court building, there's a basketball court known as the highest court in the land. It's a place where judges and court staff can relax and play basketball between hearings. Imagine, after making important decisions, the justices can shed their robes and shoot some hoops, trading legal arguments for basketball shots. It's a truly unique combination of law and sport. Did you know that the Tower of London was once bright white? In the Middle Ages, the Tower of London wasn't gray as it is today, but instead it was covered with a white plaster, earning it the nickname White Tower. At that time, white plaster symbolized strength and purity. Every few years, the tower was repainted to maintain its bright appearance. Over time, the coating wore away, and the tower became gray due to dirt and pollution. But once, it really was a gleaming white pearl on the London skyline. Did you know that a duck's quack actually has an echo? Despite the popular myth that a duck's quack doesn't echo, that's not true. It's not that ducks lack an echo, it's that our ears sometimes fail to catch it. The physics of sound works the same as for other sounds, but due to the frequency of the quack and how it spreads, it may seem quieter or barely noticeable. Next time you're near a duck, listen closely. You might catch its quack echo sounding like it's in stereo. It's nature's version of a whispering gallery, but with ducks. Can you imagine that the Tianzi Mountains in China inspired fantasy films? Located in Hunan province, the Tianzi Mountains are famous for their unique peaks that seem to have grown out of the earth, creating an atmosphere reminiscent of scenes from science fiction movies. These mountains served as inspiration for the creators of the film Avatar and are considered one of China's most incredible natural wonders. For tourists, cable cars have been built that provide breathtaking views of these peculiar rock formations. It's hard to believe, but giraffes and humans have the same number of neck vertebrae. Despite the fact that a giraffe's neck is much longer, both giraffes and humans have the same number of neck vertebrae, 7. These bones provide support for the head and allow neck mobility. In giraffes, they are simply much longer than in humans. This fascinating fact highlights the amazing diversity of evolution and nature, despite the external differences between species. It's interesting that Tokyo has no street addresses. In Tokyo, addresses are assigned not to streets but to buildings, which is very unusual for a large city. Buildings are numbered in order of construction, not by their location on a street. This means finding the right address for the first time can be challenging if you're not familiar with the area. Instead of streets, residents and visitors orient themselves by metro stations and districts, giving Tokyo a unique charm and character.